And so that's why I never went to another barbecue ever again.
Wow, that's disturbing.
It really is. Also, I still like cake.
We should go jump the bridge.
Okay, let's go.
You ready to talk some movies, Brennan?
Yeah, okay.
Well, let's go. Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth. Corrupted youth.
Hi, welcome to the Corrupted Youth Podcast. I guess I'm Dan.
I'm still Brennan.
We're a father and son duo that explores the latest blockbusters, classic genre films, and the schlockiest of golden age VHS rental store flicks in spoiler-heavy fashion. That's us.
It's our shtick.
Summer Slasher Camp 4.
Woo!
It's fully underway now. All right. Probably the most exciting time of the year for us.
Yeah, because we don't have to pick out the movies.
That's right. Our listeners get to pick out all the movies in the Dongle Den, our group on Facebook. So if you ever want to participate for next year, show up there. And as far as that goes, all of our movies came down. One person's suggestions this year were drawn at random. So also the other weird thing too is that all our movies are from 1981.
Really?
Yeah.
That's super weird.
So thanks, Court.
Thanks, Court.
I don't know if you had that planned at all. Just how it works out. So yeah, today we're talking about
Happy birthday to me.
That's right. Even though your birthday was last month.
Yeah, close enough.
We're just going to keep on going with the birthday theme. Yeah. I'm assuming this was a first time viewing for you.
Yes. Was it for you?
You know, I think I've seen it before, but I don't know. I think maybe I watched Bloody Birthday and I was getting it confused because there's parts of this I was like, I don't remember any of this. So I'm going to just chalk it up to first time viewing.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I don't know. Sometimes I've seen so many just this kind of movie.
Yeah.
So when I get one that I haven't seen before, it's always a treat. So, I guess we can get into the Letterboxd info.
Mm-hmm.
So according to Letterboxd, the description of Happy Birthday to Me from 1981 is, this is all in caps too, this first part.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should do a voice for it. 6 of the most bizarre murders you'll ever see. Virginia is proud that she belongs to a clique, the best students at a private school. But before her 18th birthday, a gruesome set of murders take place, and her friends are the ones who are falling prey. Could it be her? She suffers from blackouts due to a freak accident 1 year earlier. We soon learn the truth behind the accident and what is going on. I got one word wrong in that, and I'm not fixing it.
What was that first line?
6 of the most bizarre murders you will ever see.
Not really that bizarre.
No, that's what I mean. Okay, so we're going to play the trailer.
Yeah.
And in the trailer, they say that. So it's just like their tagline, but I mean, it gets butts in seats, I suppose.
Yeah.
And maybe the bar was pretty low in 1981, but I'm also going to say no.
The bar on that one guy was pretty low.
Yes, indeed. So, more information. So this was directed by J. Lee Thompson. He was a pretty accomplished director. He did the original Cape Fear, and he was nominated for an Oscar for The Guns of Navarone. And it shows in this movie.
I'd say so.
I mean, this movie doesn't look bad at all.
No.
Let's see here if there's any. It's got a couple of writers: Timothy Bond, Peter Jobin, John C.W. Saxton. None of those really ring a bell.
Nope.
Nobody else really stands out for me, so whatever. We'll just move on to the cast. We've got Melissa Sue Anderson, Glenn Ford, Lawrence Dane, Sharon Aker, Francis Hyland, Tracy E. Bregman, Jack Blum, Matt Craven, Lenore Zahn, David Eisner, and Elisa Langlis. I don't know if I pronounced that right, that last one, but whatever. So there are a couple notable people in this.
Okay.
Everybody's kind of done some acting
Yeah.
in this, but Melissa Sue Anderson, who plays our title character of Virginia, she was just coming off of the hit TV show Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was a big deal at the
Yeah,
time.
even I've seen some of that.
Yeah, and then we have Glenn Ford, who plays Dr. Dave. He's a veteran actor who's been in a ton of stuff, but outside of this, maybe like for me anyway, it was oh, that's Jonathan Kent from the original Superman movie from the 70s. So yeah, he's kind of been around. But he was in his filmography, he's in a lot of like pretty recognizable famous films. So it's definitely a big name for this movie, I guess.
Yeah, he kind of had a buttery voice.
Yeah, he did. And a calming presence to him.
Yeah.
And kind of creepy.
A little creepy. Yeah.
But everybody is in this
Everybody's creepy in this movie. So true.
Then we have Lawrence Dan, who played Daddy. I know this daddy stuff. Daddy. He was in plenty of genre films, including Scanners and The Clown Murders, which I notoriously don't like because it's clown murder. There's one murder in the movie. It was such a disappointment. But yeah, the trailer. Here it is. Boink.
Someone's having a party for the top 10, the senior class snobs. Before they get to celebrate, 6 of them will die in the most bizarre ways you'll ever see.
Virginia, don't go away. Come over here, Virginia.
It is up to you to determine whether you wish to subject yourself to fear, terror, and shock. Because of the bizarre nature of this birthday party, pray you're not invited.
Whoa, what a trailer.
Yeah, there it was. So yeah, because we definitely listened to it, and they definitely said that thing about the 6 murders. So the whole time I was watching this movie, I was like, now I know. I can just count, and then I'll know. It's like 6 people are definitely kicking the bucket. And there's 10 of these students. Do some math on it. Of course, there could always be ancillary kills.
True.
Doesn't always have to be students, I guess. Yeah, so this movie starts off, we get Bernadette. But that's all I could think of every time I heard her name. We're doing some 4 tops now. I did them no justice just now. Yeah, young lady, she trips over this dog leash, and it's this is where we meet Mrs. Patterson. She's like, was she the dean or just
something like that?
Just like the house mother for these students for the dorm, like the dorm mother.
I think she might have had more power than that. She had her own like big office.
Yeah, so I didn't really catch on to it. All I know, she's just a catty old lady.
Mm-hmm.
She just seems really mean, and yeah, and then we just get some information that she's part of the top 10 students. So we're going to focus on the 10. Then Bernadette gets into her car only to get strangled by a mysterious glove hand killer. So I'm like, ooh, giallo vibes. The old black glove killer.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to say this, if this movie was Italian, probably would have been a lot kookier.
Probably. This movie gets kind of kooky.
This movie's like pretty straight though.
Yeah, for a while. I thought it was also interesting that this guy decides to choke out somebody from behind them. It was kind of like awkward. You think that you'd have like a rope or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in movies where they just use a wire.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But so yeah, I did like this though because Bernadette fakes dying and she gets out, but she doesn't go far for some dumb reason.
Yeah.
She just is like, better check the car to make sure nobody's in there now.
Yeah. I was yelling. I was like, run away, run, go, run. Like, that's your getaway.
Yeah, and she just ends up like coming across someone she recognizes, and it's it's you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, there is.
Oh, it's you. Anyway,
Oh, I know you.
it's that trope.
We have close personal relations, and I won't suspect you of being the murderer.
Yeah, thank goodness I ran into you.
You stone wall that's not talking back to me.
But a straight razor comes out, and we just get to assume she dies.
We get a good throat slash.
Oh, did we?
It's just like a really quick
Oh,
shot.
I must have been busy taking notes. I could just fly by night like you. Virginia shows up to dinner, and it's the whole crew of potential dead meat students, the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to stop right now because I thought it was necessary for so many people involved with this movie that we have to stop and just go over each one of these students here.
Okay. Yeah.
The top 10 is Bernadette. She's the one who's already dead.
Already axed. Don't worry about her.
We have Virginia. She's our main woman who uncovers past trauma through a series of flashbacks.
Yep.
We have Alfred. He's the sulking, bespectacled weirdo.
Mm-hmm.
I put weirdo in quotes because at the time, I put this in right away at the beginning. I was like, maybe he's cool.
Yeah.
Then we have Etienne. He's the French motorcycle enthusiast, pervert, and unconcerned boyfriend because he was dating Bernadette. And anytime she gets brought up, he could care less.
Does not care.
No concern that his girlfriend is missing this entire movie.
Yeah.
Then we have Anne. She's the not blonde who's Virginia's friend. That's not Virginia when you're watching this because it's like there's so many of these students.
Yeah.
But also, there's Steve, but he's the one with the face. Now, he looks like Tom Baker's fourth Doctor on Doctor Who and Jeremy Allen White from The Bear if they had a baby. I will fight you if you say I'm wrong.
He kind of looked like the universe tried to make it Timothy Chalamet, but all the ingredients weren't quite there yet.
And you know what, though? Like, hey, some of these movies, like, I'm getting into some of the other ones we're going to watch. All I got to say is, I'm not always one for making fun of the way people look.
Right.
But there's some goofy ass looking people in these movies.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Back to Alfred. He's supposed to be the weirdo. It's like, man, Steve, I don't know, man. Like, I've seen pictures of him older, and he looks better older than he does young.
Good for him.
Because, man, he had to grow into that face. We have Maggie. She's the long-haired blonde
Mm-hmm.
who's her actor, Lenore Zahn, and I saved it for this part because this is the most interesting thing about this character
Okay.
is, I mean, other than being somebody's girlfriend, she is the animated voice of Rogue in X-Men, the animated series, and continued that role into X-Men 97.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so she's done well for herself
Yeah.
doing voice work and things.
Wow, that's really cool. I would love to see her at a convention and be like, I loved you and happy birthday to me.
Oh, I bet you she gets that a lot, though. Seriously. Horror fans, they all know.
Yeah.
You can't escape us. We have Rudy, who is dating Maggie, and I put, he's the cringe one who thinks he's funny all the time, except when he's jealous.
That's very accurate.
Because there's always, they try to put these funny people in horror movies all the time. Like, he's the funny one, and they're just always cringe.
Yeah.
They always just try to do some dumb acting thing that just comes off as annoying as hell.
Yeah.
We have Greg. He's the risk-taking, hot-headed jock. Again, I thought his name was Frank at first. This has happened to me in a couple movies now. And why does this brain happen if I think like it's a Greg or Craig? I just think it's Frank. I hear Frank. I don't know why.
I can't tell you on that one. That's just weird.
Okay, and so then we have his girlfriend, who's Amelia. She's the short-haired blonde
Uh-huh.
who should not be with Greg, but that's about all she's got to do in this movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she's just existing.
Yeah.
This is definitely not a good movie for your test for female characters. Not like the guys are much better.
No.
So, anyways, back to the movie. Back to this dinner, everybody meeting. We get quiet, nerdy Alfred who arrives, and he commits a health code violation by bringing a rat into the restaurant. And then Greg starts a scuffle with some Shriner types who are just having a good time. They're just some old dudes
Yeah.
in their little men's club or whatever.
They're being a little annoying, but
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're in like a bar restaurant. It's more bar orientated, right? They're having too much drunken fun for this douchey, like, school bro.
yeah.
Get out of here with this bullshit.
Silly.
But Rudy settles them down by buying a beer, but then he slips Alfred's rat into the beer, and then chaos ensues, and they have to run off.
What's annoying too is that like the old guys were pretty chill after they bought him that beer. They're like, oh, like you're pretty cool. Like your next round's on us. They even said like, whoa, that's like you guys just made friends at the bar.
Yeah,
Like you guys just made some cool old friends.
I don't understand. Like, it does not make sense. I
Yeah.
could see if those old guys started trouble with them,
Right.
that would make more
Some
sense.
payback.
Mm-hmm. But Rudy's gonna Rudy throughout this whole movie. Yeah, and this is our fun drawbridge jump scene, because they've got this game they like to play when this drawbridge is going up, when a ship's gonna come underneath it, where they just race to make it over, and whoever doesn't make it over, I guess, loses. Very stupid.
Very stupid.
Steve is the only one who doesn't make it
Yeah.
because he's just too late. But when it's way too late to be jumping over the bridge, Fiery Greg trashes his Firebird. Like the whole front end gets smashed up
Yeah.
by jumping over the bridge. And Virginia does not want any of this, which rightfully so. I don't blame her for being mad.
Yeah.
So she makes him stop, and then she just yeets off into the woods.
Yeah, runs away.
And then they just go, well, it's okay. She lives near here.
Yeah. She probably just ran home.
Yeah. Let's not worry about it.
And they just never mentioned that guy's car just got totally messed up.
Yeah, they show it later in the movie, but only more from the back end. So if he got the body work done to fix the front end, he's probably just some dumb rich kid.
Yeah. He was like, Steve owes me $20 now. Like $20 is that's nothing. to
That's
fix your
not
car.
going to cover those expenses.
Not at all.
Yeah, your insurance isn't going to cover that.
Yeah. How did you damage your car?
You jump at a bridge. Virginia goes to the spooky cemetery, which apparently is also right near her house.
Yeah.
So we've got a cool, fun proximity thing happening here.
Mhm.
So that's convenient. But I mean, she does come from a pretty wealthy home.
Yeah.
So it could be a family plot.
That's my
because
guess.
She's visiting her mother who passed away. She goes to like trim some grass. She's got some clippers that stay there, and she talks to her mom, which, that's not weird.
No.
But we get, a gloved creeper is watching. Oh, being a perv. But it's just that it's a French guy.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, stupid French name.
This dumb scarf.
A lot of dumb scarf
A
action.
lot of dumb scarf action.
Then this is where we get some daddy time at home. Daddy, daddy, daddy. This whole movie, which her dad just acts weird about her visiting the grave because, they're definitely going for the mystery aspect of this in this movie, which means we have to cover damn near everything in this entire movie because something somehow relates to something.
Yeah.
So this movie is almost 2 hours long,
Mm-hmm.
which is shocking.
Yeah.
You'd think a Happy Birthday to Me, where your poster has a guy getting a kabob in the mouth.
That's an hour and a half.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
80 minutes, in and out. Show me some boobs and some drugs.
Yeah.
Kids dying, the end.
Yeah.
But nope, you don't get that in this movie. Especially here when NTN creeps into her house. And the Foley on this part was pretty wild. Did you notice that? The clippity clomp of his boots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Sounded like a cowboy tap dancing on concrete.
Thought somebody would have heard him.
But he climbs up to the second story to
Yeah.
get into her bedroom. Virginia notices that her window is open when she goes to her room, and she shuts and locks it. And then we get some complicit creeping cam shots from the closet as she undresses, which is also like a weird focus on her worn underwear.
Yeah.
And no nudity in this either.
No nudity, yeah.
No nudity in this entire movie. So just get that out of your heads. Maybe it's on your checklist for a slasher requirement, but that box is going to go unchecked.
Not on ours.
She begins to prepare for a bath. Still no nudity, gang. And then this is when Etienne flees out her window, and she clearly freaks out, knowing somebody was in there, and she locks the window again.
Creepy.
Yeah. Who does that?
I thought, wow, I want this guy to die.
Unless he's the killer.
Unless he is the killer.
Because this movie is just full of... Everybody's got gloves on too, by the way.
Everybody's got the same gloves on.
Everybody's got the same gloves. So get used to that. The next day, we get a lecture from Mrs. Patterson about the incident at the restaurant before class. And Bernadette has not showed up. She is missing. They even noticed that she was missing at the party.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Didn't care.
Then we get this scene with Rudy being Rudy. Because he pulls a fun prank on the science professor. Makes his hair stand up static.
Everyone's just laughing away, too, at it.
Yeah. And then the professor says, the fun thing about static is that it could discharge. And then we get the most wildly shitty effect.
Yeah. Crazy. My immersion absolutely shattered.
Oh, yeah. It'll take you right out of the movie.
Yeah.
You'll be like, wait, what? Huh? Because this movie feels very grounded for the most part.
Yeah. Except for this. It's like an arc of electricity from the professor's finger to Rudy's face. And it's just like one solid color zigzag line.
Imagine if you were trying to edit something on your phone and marking it up.
Mm-hmm.
You just took the white, but it's just your big fat finger on a little tiny photo.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's not even like a cool, like, zappy.
Nope. It's about as bad as you can get.
Yeah, it's about as thick as a banana.
Yeah.
I don't know why that came to my mind for a size comparison. Yeah, but then because the whole point is like they gotta like shock the frog legs, which was pretty gross too.
Yeah.
Because it was real. It wasn't a prop. They might have propped them up so they could like jump around more, but yeah. So it's all that electrifying frog legs. But this gives Virginia her first flashback to an event she couldn't possibly recall.
No. Yeah, no way.
And it's like her getting surgery, like unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
But then she sits up and she's like, hey, it's gonna be my birthday soon. Why did that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess the title of the movie, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So then we have Virginia talking to Doc Dave, who is not the doctor that was working on her in the previous scene. Totally different guy.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I tried not to worry about it. I'm like, whatever. But I'm like, they seem pretty chummy. He seems to have a bond with her.
Yeah.
Fatherly bond, but kind of creepy.
Just a little bit of creep sprinkled on.
Yeah. Like even like her dad was like, there's like a weird sex thing going on.
Just stop touching her.
Yeah. I don't know. It just always like it's intentionally icky. I get it. They're just trying to throw around that. Could be anybody.
Yeah.
But, there's like a whole bunch of like mumbo jumbo about like this electronic regeneration from brain fields.
Yeah.
Derived from a salamander to grow her brain back.
Yeah.
Because she had brain damage from something.
It's a whole lot of like, mumbo jumbo, nothing words.
I was losing. I was like, wait, am I the dumb one here?
Yeah. I was like, this isn't real.
Yeah, but then back to the creepy thing. He's just like, I won't let anyone or anything hurt you. They kind of kiss sometimes doing this.
Kiss on the cheek, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I didn't grow up in the right time period or country where like kissing's like thing. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, no. Like, I can't imagine if somebody I viewed as like a surrogate child even. Like, I love you so much and you help me out all the time. Great, cool, let's have a hug.
Let's have a high five.
We'll hug it out. Side hug a little.
Yeah. Hand hug.
Don't be kissing me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be kissed. Ooh, motocross race time. Then we get the bedroom creeper Etienne. He wins his race and he attributes it to the fact that he had his good luck charm of Virginia's underwear.
Disgusting.
Yeah. What the hell?
And nobody's like super freaked out by that either.
Virginia is.
Virginia is for sure.
She's super pissed. Alfred doesn't seem impressed though.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, he's watching that whole thing.
Probably because he's like, maybe he's a decent guy and he's just awkward.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just, I don't know.
Maybe he's the killer.
Maybe he's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I don't know. It's a weird perspective to have from our time period to project onto that, but
Yeah.
then we get our killer who's going down some wet steps wearing all black except for white sneakers for some reason.
Thought that was an interesting choice.
You want to sneak around in the dark? Nobody's going to suspect anything weird when they go, I don't know, I just saw a pair of tennis shoes. I didn't see a person.
Yeah, what happens to all the blood too on those white shoes? Like, you're not getting that out.
Probably not. They're like canvas.
Yeah, no way.
But anyways, it's Etienne is working on his motorcycle.
With his face really close to the spinning wheel.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is a thing at all.
Yeah.
It just seemed way too hazardous
Yeah.
to be a thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it happens. Like, you got to make sure things are running well. I mean, if you actually watch the trailer, it totally gives the scene away. Because the killer just sneaks up behind him, lifts up his scarf, chucks it into the wheel, and it just gets wrapped up. And then the killer just revs the engine so it goes faster and it just grinds his face into the spokes. We don't really get to see much of that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of blood, but not much.
Yeah, they got away pretty quick.
Yeah, this movie cuts away quite a bit.
It does.
But yeah, so he gets spoked. Then we have Anne and Virginia who are looking for Alfred. And when your friend is gone, what do you do, Brennan? You want to see if they're at home.
Well, if I knock on the door and they don't like answer or anything, I guess my second choice would be to like try to find a spot on the house to break in, like breaking and entering, like enter the home.
Oh,
Just walk right in.
that sounds like a crime.
No, it's what you do.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of mounted rabbits in his room and some life casts of faces.
He's in a taxidermy.
Yeah. And then Bernadette's head under a cloth.
What?
Alfred busts them as they try to get out because they're freaking out.
Yeah.
And he plays up the creep factor with us. And then he also just reveals that the head is a fake by popping out a glass eye, which you can pop a glass eye into a real head.
Yeah.
You can do that, you know. But the ladies are unimpressed. And then Anne calls him sick, and the word sick echoes as Virginia stares into space. That's it for that one.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep, I'm not sure about this whole, like, okay, this is also confusing. So Alfred had the fake head set up on the table underneath the cloth with like fake blood around it.
Mm-hmm.
For what reason?
Good point. And she's recently gone missing.
Yeah.
This is not a good look.
No.
This is probably enough to get you questioned by the police.
Yeah.
Even like if you were in the scenario as one of the ladies,
Yeah.
what would you do?
Freak out. Call the police.
Yeah.
And if he appeared in front of me, attack him.
Yeah.
Like what if one of them just like grabbed a knife because they were scared and then he like pops out, just stabbed.
Well, that's this movie for you though.
Yeah. Plus, like, did he expect someone to break in and find the head?
Probably not.
So then why did he put the head out in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he was obsessed with her. Maybe he had life casts, so maybe she was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they're just the death masks of all his victims.
Ooh.
But maybe he's an art student. Maybe that's his major. Because, he's the weird one.
He does look like an art student.
He actually does look exactly like an art student.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I would totally wear that outfit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, this guy, low key, for 2024, kind of drippy.
He was drippy for like the 90s even.
Yeah. that cool coat.
Yeah.
That coat's super cool.
I want a coat like that. I used to
Mhm.
wear stuff like that when I was younger. And I'm like, man, I could really go for one now.
Yeah. Like army surplus or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I want to slap my patches on.
Oh, yeah. That'd be rad.
Not too many of them. It's going to be tasteful.
Yeah, even better.
Put some buttons on there. I love me some buttons.
Yeah. Then everyone would know that you're cool.
That's right. Unless you're my wife listening to this and you're going to be like, I don't think so. Too bad, Stacy. I'm doing it.
Can't stop him.
That's right. I'm a grown ass man. I could do what I want as long as you let me. Well, Mrs. Patterson believes the now 2 missing top 10 is just a prank, probably thanks to stupid Rudy.
Yeah.
And she grills Virginia about being privileged and gives her detention to like perform some type of like, I don't know what you call it, community service or something as
Yeah.
punishment.
Yeah.
Like a disciplinary measure. And thank goodness we don't have to see any of that. Because whenever that happens, it's not in this movie.
Boring.
Probably would have bumped it up to 2.5 hours. Oh, yeah. This is where Rudy stops being funny because they didn't invite him to movie night.
Yeah.
And then Rudy gets into it with Steve because Steve is clearly macking on Maggie.
Totally.
And she seems into it just as much. And this is not the character drama this movie thinks it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because these people, they're just flopping about with each other. Like they're just switching partners up randomly.
All the time, too.
And it just to fit the narrative, and it seems to just not have any effect on anything.
No one cares about what other people are doing.
They do,
like-
but they don't, but
it's
they
like
still all
only-
hang out.
It's only what affects them personally. Like people going missing, they just don't care. Other people switching up partners really quick, doesn't matter to them. Their girlfriend, macking on some other guy, then they care.
Yeah. I mean, like, Etienne probably didn't care about Bernadette being missing because he's just like, well, I'm just going to go steal Virginia's panties.
Yeah.
Sorry I said that word. I grossed myself out. Because in my notes, I intentionally put underwear. Also, the disgusting nature of 1981 female underpants.
Yeah.
Super gross. Those things were nasty.
I would not touch that.
Man, I really hope they don't make them like that anymore. Because the ones I wear now they're so much more comfortable. Yeah. Then we get Greg working out on the bench press. That's when the killer arrives. And again, he does the, oh, it's you.
Oh, it's you.
And he just starts chatting at the killer. And he's like, hey, can you put some more weight on? And the killer puts on too much weight and moves the rack away. So Greg is just stuck holding the bar up with all the weight on it, which if he was properly trained on how to bench press, he knows how to get out of that. Because if you're stuck with too much weight, all you got to do is just lower it onto yourself as smooth as you can, right? And then you put it on your chest, and then you roll the bar down off yourself.
Oh, well, that would have saved him.
Not as entertaining for this movie, though.
No, not at all.
Because, okay, I will give you the privilege.
Yeah.
Of,
Dude, it's pretty crazy because he's holding up the weight and he's like, what are you doing? Like, get this off. Like, lift this off of me. And the killer grabs another smaller weight and drops it right on his balls. Like, total Goomba stomp. Like, awful.
Goomba stomp.
Yeah, Goomba stomp. You've never heard that term before?
Well, the Goombas are the mushroom guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
His penis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then when that happens, he drops the weight on himself right onto his neck.
Spurt. Just blood squirts out.
Yeah.
And this is why I say Amelia does not deserve to be with Craig. Because she arrives with pizza and a 6-pack of Miller Lite tall boys. Say what you want about Miller Lite. She's showing up. She's bringing it. I mean, come on. That's a girlfriend right there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You want to date somebody who's going to bring you pizza and beer.
Yeah. What more can you ask for, really?
Yeah. We didn't get a scene where he asked her to do it.
Mm-mm. That was out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah. We're going to have a fun time, get the night started.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to do it. You know what? For a while, there really wasn't any tall boys around.
That's sad.
Yeah. The comeback of the tall boy, I welcome it. Come on. It's just a pint.
Yeah. It's just a pint.
But it's just in one can.
Saves you the work.
Yeah. This last weekend, I was getting $4 tall boys at a show, and I was like, totally cool with this.
$4. That ain't bad.
That's not too bad.
No.
I mean, yeah, you could probably get them cheaper, but I was expecting them to jack up the price a little bit. For the convenience, yes, I will take it.
Plus, I've paid more for just regular beers.
You can pay more for a pint, easy.
Yeah.
A lot of places you go get a pint, that's like $5.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
plus.
Yeah.
I paid like, say like up to $10 for a pint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't like those places. Wow. I'm getting into lots of beer talk in the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
Ooh, just wait for our one on the Prowler. We'll do some beer talk on that. We'll be with Pete. That's good beer, bad movie nights, total jam. But, okay, so this part's weird too, because Greg is gone without a trace. Killer cleaned up the scene.
Yeah.
Got
Somehow
all that blood out of the carpet.
Yeah.
Even.
Don't get that.
And she almost gets biffed by the weighted bar because it's standing upright behind the door.
Uh-huh.
I thought she was going to get it there.
Me too. Yeah, pretty sneaky on the killer's part. Just like, I'll just booby trap this door.
Very dangerous
Uh-huh.
to have a bar precariously set up like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, nobody's going to care later because we're at a soccer match. And Alfred on the soccer team, so he's not a complete dorky nerd as they would like to make him seem. He's actually a good goalie.
Yeah. He catches that penalty shot.
Mm-hmm. Rudy kicks the game-winning goal at the last moment, and then we find out that Steve definitely has a gambling problem. Maggie gets mad at Virginia because she was talking to Rudy. Then Rudy buries something that was sticking out of the rose bed. This is kind of like a afterthought. It's like, oh, scarf.
Yeah.
Who's wearing a scarf? Because you're just going to think.
Nope, he's the killer.
Yep. Okay, so you're the killer, right?
Yeah.
And you decide to bury somebody in the rose bed, right? And then you go, whew, just got done with that soccer match. Better go check to make sure that scarf's buried properly because I didn't do that great of a job.
Yeah.
And this is when we have Rudy taking Virginia up the spooky church bell tower.
Doing this really kind of cringe accent.
He's doing the hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean by this. I don't know if this was like this guy's one chance to be like, I can act.
Yeah.
And it just comes off as cringy because Rudy be Rudy-ing, I guess.
I would have told him to shut up.
Because Virginia doesn't like it. Especially when he has this idea for this prank. This is not a prank.
This is definitely not a prank.
Where he goes, I'm going to cut the rope to the bell. So when somebody goes to pull on it, it's just going to fall down on him. Isn't that funny?
So funny.
What a wacky prank.
Oh, what a jokester. I wish I was funny like him.
Rudy would have his own TV show. It would be like super awful, like punked. We're playing practical jokes on people.
We cut out the leg of this chair to this old granny's lawn chair. Watch her fall over. Oh, that's so funny.
That's just Rudy.
We made this family think that one of their members went missing. Isn't that so funny? And every day I'm gonna mail them fake bones in the mail, one by one. Oh, it's just Rudy.
Wait a second. My girl's with another guy. What the hell?
I'm not funny anymore. I'm mad, Rudy. Gonna drive off, mad, Rudy.
I'm gonna creep on Virginia. Like, hey, if he wants to move on, good for him. This is not the way to do it.
No.
Especially because he's like being really creepy with the knife towards her too.
Slowly approaching her with the knife.
I get it, movie.
Yeah.
But in real life, you don't do this.
No.
Who does that?
No. If I'm trying to impress a girl, I'm not gonna try to make her think I'm gonna murder her.
Or rape her at knife point.
Anything like that. I'm gonna avoid that.
So, anyways, we get blood dripping down onto the church floor. And in comes the priest because he's like, bell ringing time. I don't know why that's everybody's voice this episode.
Time to ring this bell.
But then, of course, the rope falls.
It was so
Right?
funny.
Man,
Dude, I was slapping my knee.
I shit blood. I laughed so hard. Just came right out of me. That's why we got a new couch.
Thanks, Rudy.
I mean, clearly this priest freaks when he notices the blood, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's blood on the rope.
Yeah.
So none of this is looking good.
He also screams like, help, murder.
Well, we know Virginia's not dead because she's running into the hospital and she's looking for Dr. Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And on her way, she sees someone with a head injury and she has another flashback. I do kind of like this flashback effect, though, where they just flash a light under her.
Yeah, I did
And
like
kinda
that.
That is kind of fun.
Bringing like her out of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too.
And it's very just simple. It's just a red light or a pink light or whatever sometimes.
Yeah,
It's kind of neat. Gets the point across. I like lo-fi stuff like that when it works.
me too.
Yeah, this flashback is bonkers. This is the head surgery one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, I think like sometimes for certain brain surgeries, you are kind of conscious.
Yeah,
'cause
they
they have to
can-
ask you questions.
They can keep you awake. Yeah.
Yeah. So she is conscious for this one, but it's like the whole top of her skull, like a big window to her brain is there.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty gross. Like they show like drilling in and stuff.
Yeah, it is pretty gross.
Yeah, I kind of liked it though.
Yeah.
I was like, it's about time we get some gore in this movie.
Yeah.
Usually it just cuts away, but nope. We get brain surgery.
You know, this effect was good, not as good as it was in Reanimator.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Reanimator looked really good when they're doing the little head autopsy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And they had good sound effects in that too.
Yeah.
They just popped the whole top off. But she just ends up getting comforted by Doc Dave after her freak out. So that's it for that. Because the next day, the doc is listening to news on the missing students and how the mysterious bell tower incident may be related. Only the bloody knife was found.
Ooh.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh. So then the doc arrives at the school, and the police are conducting interviews on the missing students. Finally,
Yeah.
he corners Virginia, asking her to recall every detail about the tower incident. But then we have Mrs. Patterson. She gets nosy about why the doc is there, which I can see that. But
Yeah.
I mean, he should just be like, chill out, lady. Or psychiatrist or whatever.
Mhm.
Just, I'm a doctor here visiting a patient. And this really just leads to nowhere because they get interrupted because officer comes in saying something has been found, and everyone but Virginia flocks outside to see the scarf getting pulled from the rose bed. Now, we're supposed to believe that this scarf is NTN's, but this, like I said earlier, the school scarf, these things are just everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everybody has one on at some point in time.
Yeah.
But then inside, Rudy just flops down in front of Virginia like a peekaboo corpse
Mm-hmm.
and drops to the floor, but he's not dead.
I wish he was.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But he's just Rudying like a doof because that's a fun prank to play on someone.
Yeah. A good prank to play is like, I don't know, kind of faking your own death, hiding from an entire school search for you.
Yeah. And then he cut his hand cutting the rope because he's an idiot.
That's
And-
not surprising.
No. Claims he had to get 15 stitches. So good one, Rudy. You're terrible at being funny
Yeah.
all around. See where it gets you. It would have been funny if he dropped and just busted his head open.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah.
Doing that thing where he's just like spitting up blood, kind of twitching a little.
Yeah.
Then outside there's a skull in the dirt, and this cop is just like, "Oh, you can check it out, Doc."
Yeah. Because it's
Dude.
not an active murder investigation at that point.
Oh, no, not at all. Because, I mean, granted, yeah, it has a lot of dirt on it, but still. But I mean, it would be a real human skull because it says that it's from the science department on it. And, well, Maggie's back with Rudy, I think, because she's happy that he's not dead. So that's the thing, I guess. Virginia talks to the doc again, and she invites the doc to her upcoming birthday. Yay!
Yay.
Happy birthday time. Who doesn't love a good birthday party? I mean, come on. The whole point of this movie, right?
Yeah, they don't really talk about her birthday all too much. I was like, when is this going to come into play here?
It's kind of like more backloaded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our remaining top 10 crew is smoking what looks to be the world's scrawniest doobie.
Dude, it was skinny, super skinny.
Not that we're like potheads, but I mean, come on. It's got to be like 1981 crappy ditchweed or something.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that one little scrawny joint is going to do the trick. And they're in like this cool service tunnel for the school's pool.
Pretty cool spot to smoke.
Yeah. And Virginia and Rudy seem to be an item now, though. So, like, just.
It's all over the place.
Yeah. Because, well, now that he didn't try to kill her, I guess it's fine. And then we have Maggie sinking through this window that you can look into the pool.
Mhm.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But it is a thing, I guess. And maybe it's for, like, filming stuff.
Oh,
like
sure.
races.
Yeah.
That would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But then it looks like Maggie's lifeless body is sinking down past the window. And Virginia just freaks out and just takes off. But then turns out Maggie's just being a jokester. Oh, this is
Maggie.
cruel.
She was like, wouldn't it be funny if they all thought I was dead after multiple of our friends went missing?
It's the perfect time to pull a prank.
Perfect
like that,
time.
So we have Virginia driving home. She's haunted by the image of Maggie's lifeless body, or what she thought it was. So it's giving her this another flashback, right? But it's minor.
Mm-hmm.
And then she exits her car to say hi to mom again. But there's a gloved someone who exits the car's back seat. Oh no, it's Alfred.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he does a really creepy sus walk up to her.
Yeah.
And he starts reaching into his pocket in a manner that stretches the runtime of this movie, which is long enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to go anymore. Why is this so long? I don't understand. This is like a 10-minute scene, I swear.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not 10 minutes.
Drags, though.
It does. Then he's going to pull something out. What happens, Brennan?
Virginia turns around and stabs him right in the guts with the grass trimmer thingy.
Shears.
That's
We'll go with shears.
Yeah, not grass cutter thingies.
Well, we don't want to get too technical for our listeners.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. Gotta dumb it down for the dongles.
Not that we think that you're dumb, but
No.
we got to make it broad enough.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be able to understand what we're rambling on about. Thanks to all 5 of you. We don't even have a top 10. Somebody bumped them off. It was 11, but we had 6 of the most unbelievable murders. Or whatever the tagline is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's intense. Yeah, but he falls down, and in his hand, he had a single white rose.
Aw.
Aw, you awkward little creep.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know.
I do feel bad for him, though.
Well, we'll get to that later. That's not me saying anything. He's dead. She was wearing the gloves, too.
She was.
They were both wearing gloves. But the next day, Virginia's dad says he has to leave because a freaking oil rig is on fire.
I love this, too, because it just cuts to him watching the TV.
And he's like, on the phone.
Yeah, the oil rig's on fire. He's like, oh my God.
And she's sad that he might miss her birthday, which, hey, her mom is dead. Like, I don't remember. Because there was a thing where she had gone to the school previously.
Yeah.
Because Rudy said, I don't remember you being at the school.
Right. Yeah, then she was like, yeah, I went here for a couple weeks, but then the accident happened. And then she had to go away
Yeah.
for the treatment and everything. And then they ended up moving back to Crawford.
There's like a
or
weird, like,
wherever
some
it
like
was.
4 years or something.
Yeah,
span.
there's
Who
definitely a
knows?
time gap.
Ooh, we get a super fun white people dancing at the school dance.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I realized I was like, oh, this movie is super white.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a person of color in this entire movie.
I think there was one playing soccer.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I remember remembering that because I was like, I think that might be the first not white person I've seen. Yeah, that's bad.
well, we're going to have to make the filmmaker apologize.
Where was this filmed?
Okay, that's a... oh, no, I'm thinking of the other movie.
Because
I was thinking of The Prowler because I looked up where that was.
there are people with British accents in this, and when they're like outside playing soccer, it looks a lot like it's like in England or something.
Well, NTN is definitely French.
French.
Did somebody else have a? Yeah, because his dad is supposed to be like a emissary or something.
Hmm.
Because there was like a bit on the phone call after he goes missing. I didn't cover that in the notes. Sorry, gang. There's just a lot in this movie.
There is.
And somehow I still brought it up. Let me check a difference. It says Canada and United States.
Interesting.
So it's probably the Canada that's throwing you off.
Yeah, probably.
Because Canada's just different enough from the US to seem weird.
Yeah.
You can kind of once you get a taste for Canada in a movie, you can pick out your Canada. You can go, something's kind of weird about this neighborhood.
Yeah. Interesting.
And that's no diss to Canada. You're just a little different than the US.
Have fun up there with all your syrup and I don't know what else they got there.
Your healthcare.
Yeah, darn you. Your weird, was it like ketchup chips or something?
Yeah, I wouldn't diss it.
I don't know.
They like macaroni and cheese a lot up there too.
I don't know.
Instead of Bloody Marys, they have Caesars. Just putting in a different juice.
Oh, is it good?
It's a clamato juice instead.
Oh.
Heck yeah, they're super delicious.
Oh, sorry.
Boy, and all that apologizing to the native people after they found all those dead kids at those schools
Oh, whoops.
from, when they tried to convert everybody. Yeah. You know what? I do appreciate that though. You wouldn't get that here in the States.
Nah, just sweep that under the rug.
Yeah, that's going to make a kid feel bad. We can't possibly discuss history, okay? History needs to be shiny. It needs to be fun. You can't have any villains in it, okay?
History has to be an American flag flapping in the wind with like an eagle screeching, and like a jet flying over.
Yeah, and you know what? You can look at history and you can go, you know what? Even something like the Founding Fathers, right? I'm sorry. I'm going to go on this tangent here. Damn you, constitutional law. But anyway, it's about looking back, and you can cherry pick the good that these people do, but you have to acknowledge the bad.
Yeah,
You have to acknowledge their faults because they're human beings.
right.
And the whole point is growth. That's part of history. That's what we're supposed to do. I'll get down from my soapbox now. But it's true though. So just try to look at it that way.
Yeah, their word isn't gospel.
That's right. And you can't make them into tall tales and legends. You can't turn them into superheroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're flawed people.
Yeah, you can turn it into a Broadway musical.
Broadway musical. Did a lot for this country, but I owned people. I'm not putting that as the clip at the end of this. Okay, where are we in this movie? What's happening
The
here?
dance. We're at the dance.
Oh yeah, the latest dance in history.
Yeah.
Steve swaps Maggie for Virginia because the movie needs this to happen.
Yeah.
And she seems totally down for it, and they end up going to her house. What a wild bunch of, must be that old swinger mentality. Whatever, none of them are married. They're not contractually obligated. Ooh, we get wine and kebabs.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, interesting because of the poster for this movie. Which, yeah, wine and kebabs are by the fire, and it quickly turns into kissing. Sexy kebab feeding that quickly turns to Virginia skewering Steve in the mouth and killing him. I don't know why I said that like that.
All the time that they were kissing, all I could think was like, ew, kebab breath. Oh, I just got kebab breath. Oh, it's so nasty.
I don't mind a good shish kebab, but they look gross in this.
They do. Yeah.
This is definitely a case of gross food in movie. Where
Yeah.
it's like, no, don't eat that off of there. Don't do it.
I'm surprised that just a kebab stick killed. Like, you think that wouldn't be enough to kill someone.
Right. Also keep in mind, Steve is not the person on the poster for the movie.
Really.
That's not Steve. That looks like Rudy.
Would have made more sense for it to be Rudy.
And there's the
Too.
gloved hand holding the skewer on the poster.
Everything's messed up.
Yeah. But once you see the kebab, you go, oh, I know what's happening here.
Yeah.
But the next day, Anne shows up to get the tea about Virginia's night with Steve. Virginia doesn't seem to remember. Because remember, we're supposed to remember you know, that she's been having blackouts, but it doesn't really get into that except for here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it says that in that description off a letterbox. Yeah, because like Anne's outside, Virginia's upstairs. They're just yelling through the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then Virginia goes like, "Hey, Anne, take my keys. I'm going to hop into the shower." And the shower gives Virginia a flashback of her and her mom driving, and her mom is drunk, and they're in a storm, and the car gets stuck on that pesky drawbridge from earlier, and it's like in the middle of the car moving out,
Yeah.
and then the car just goes straight down in the water.
Yeah.
And then they're both trapped in the sinking car, and the mom's pinned and can't move. So mom's like, "Get out and save yourself," because
Yeah.
they're stuck in that pocket of air.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "I can get the door open, but you got to get out." I don't know why that had to happen that way, but whatever. And so Virginia was able to swim off to safety while her mom sank, presumably to a watery grave.
Mm.
Who knows? We don't know what's happening here. Stranger things have happened in movies.
Definitely.
Maybe that's why Daddy didn't want to talk about it.
Oh.
But if you've seen this movie, only you know. For sure. Think we're giving you red herrings.
Oh, also when she's swimming up to the surface, she definitely gets hit by that boat.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think I was typing it at the time and I was like, oh. So, yeah, I guess some of this movie feels like they were just like doing it as they went along.
Yeah. The stunt of the boat falling was pretty fun, though.
The car?
I mean, the car. Yeah, the car falling.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
They made sure to show all the coverage they got of that, too.
Oh, you're setting up a couple cameras for that.
Mhm.
You don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Plus, if one doesn't work out, you got one chance.
I think they did it twice, too, because there's a close-up of the car hitting the water that they definitely couldn't get without getting the other camera in frame. So I think they did it twice, and also in the first shots, it lands on its like hood, like it lands like upside down, and on the close-up, it lands normally, starts
Oh.
sinking normally. So that's like a little mistake, like cinema sins. Ding.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, I don't like cinema sins.
I don't either.
Ugh.
Who wants to watch a thing where let's completely nitpick everything?
Yeah, and also just get stuff wrong. Sometimes they'll just count things as sins, even though it's just like not true.
Right. Come on, do better.
Yeah, silly.
They really paid for it with Kong Skull Island.
That's right. I
That
remember
one
that.
backfired on them.
Yeah, the honest trailers for Skull Island. That was great. They got the director. Yeah, that was really awesome.
No, I never watched one after that.
Yeah, me neither.
Virginia wakes up and it's the tub just overflowing everywhere. And she goes to like turn off the water or whatever, but then there's a throat slashed Anne in it. But I noticed here, this is another mistake
Mm.
where there's two different shots of Anne in the tub. Like one is just Anne in the tub. The other one's there's like blood in the tub. And at first I was like, was one supposed to be her mom first? Like she thought it was her mom, and then it switches to Anne. I'm pretty sure it's Anne both times. So then she screams for the doc for help. And he must have heard her.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. He just like shows up to the front door.
And Virginia's just like, I killed Anne.
Yeah.
And he was all, I thought he was going to slap her
Me too.
because she was getting, for lack of a better term, hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look into the meaning of hysterical, definitely a woman thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Eh.
Ah.
See, history matters, Brennan.
Yeah, I guess so.
He ends up like dragging her upstairs, like,
We're gonna look.
Yeah, very forcefully.
and the tub is empty. There's not even water anywhere. So maybe she didn't. Then the doc suggests that she finds the link between her trauma and her friends. What was it that connects you to them and these memories? The catalyst was the bridge, jumping the bridge.
Right.
Then it just happens to be like, it's after midnight. Now it's her birthday, which is it's just a weird abrupt.
Yeah.
Like that's how
it's
the
my
movie
birthday
goes.
now.
It's after midnight. It's my birthday. Did the doc drug her, or is she just exhausted?
Probably exhausted, I'd hope.
I don't know. It's kind of debatable because he like gives her something to drink and she like is out pretty quick. And I'm like, but maybe she's just tired.
Long day of thinking you murdered your friend.
It would be. Police are conducting a search for a missing Anne near Virginia's house and find her car. So, of course, they show up at the house and the doc answers, but he lies to the police and says he's been there all week. They've had no visitors.
Right.
I'm not sure why he's lying. But he informs Virginia that the police were looking for Anne and to not worry because all the students are just missing. They're just missing.
They're not dead.
Nobody said they're dead. They're just missing.
I like how Virginia's reaction is like, oh God, I did kill her.
I probably killed them all.
Yeah.
But he keeps pressing her, like, hey, you really need to remember what happened here. Can't just be all, I don't remember. Then we get another flashback. I was going to try to combine these all into one thing, and you can't.
No.
Because it kind of goes along with the story. But it's her birthday. She's flashing back to her birthday when her mom was still alive. Nobody showed up to her party. And her mom is just getting hammered and angry. And Daddy calls from out of town. And this is when Virginia reveals that she really didn't have any friends. And that the other students were, they just went to a party instead. But drunk mom, she's like, then we're going to go to their party.
Yeah.
Which, kind of an awesome plan.
Yeah. That's the move.
Yeah.
Didn't show up to my party, I'm going to crash yours. It's my birthday.
But drunk mom probably would have, that would have been messy though. I mean, like, she probably would have just started screaming because this lady is like unhinged drunk.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a lot of emotion behind that drinking.
She hates rich people too.
Yes, even though she seems both. Yeah, because we've got at the gate or something. I can't tell where this is supposed to be. It's kind of unclear. It looks like it's their house, but the doc is just at the gate in the rain. And like drunk mom's yelling at him.
Well, that wasn't the doc. Wasn't it just like some like groundskeeper guy for the mansion?
No, I thought it was the doctor.
I thought he had an accent though.
But I don't know. Anyways, she's yelling at this guy. It's dark and rainy. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, she's yelling at this guy. And she said something about like, I'm a rich woman now and I can't be bought off again.
Yeah.
And she's going to make them all pay. Oh boy. So then Virginia snaps out of the flashback and flips out. And she runs away from the doc. And then we see a poker get picked up. And the doc gets just whacked in the back of the head, producing the largest amount of blood we've seen in the entire movie with like one blow.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere.
Crazy.
I mean, granted, they only get a lot of blood pumping through the body and whatever, and head injuries tend to bleed a lot, but
still,
it's
pretty
a lot.
crazy. Yeah.
Then Daddy arrives home, and he's got gifts.
He actually made it.
He actually made it.
Yeah.
And he stumbles upon her blood-covered room and naturally freaks out, as one would. And then he runs into the storm to the nearby cemetery, thinking that maybe she's there. I don't know what his logic is in this moment.
Yeah.
And instead of Virginia standing at the grave, it's Amelia, and she has a soggy gift for Virginia, and she just looks shocked.
Yeah.
I guess this is just the fake out. It's just only happening for a fake out.
Yeah, that part really confused me.
I had to watch it 3 times just to make sure what was happening.
Yeah.
Because we've never seen Amelia soggy in the movie before, so it's like, who is this?
Yeah.
It's like, is it the mom? What's happening?
That's what I thought too. I was like,
because we just saw the mom in the rain, and I was like, what's happening here? Thank you for being equally confused. So then he like runs off and stumbles upon a coffin, and then it looks like it's been dug up, obviously. And he opens it up, and it's empty, and then he really starts freaking out. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the dead doc is just laying there with his head wound, and then he looks over and he sees some like rickety building. I'm guessing this is like a guest house or something.
Yeah.
And he goes to that because the light's on. I already said the light's on, but hey, did you know the light's on?
I think there might be like lights that they show that are like on.
Oh.
From like outside, they show like the inside. There's like someone in there.
Oh, okay.
Because the lights are on.
Yeah. Inside this house where the lights are on. Nobody's been there for a while.
Actually, it looks like the lights are off.
Yeah, actually, when he goes in, it looks like the lights are off. It kind of looks like the interior where they shot the phone call with the mom during the birthday.
It is where that birthday party was. It's the same building.
Well, I don't know why they would have had a birthday there. I don't know.
Not in the mansion.
I guess. Yeah, you don't want any of those snot-nosed kids running around. Getting their dirty little fingers on everything.
Yeah.
Well, with good touches after I touched cake. Yeah. So around the table, there's a bunch of silhouetted people. And I think we can all assume what's happening here.
Hmm.
And he turns one of the chairs, and it's a rotten corpse.
Big surprise.
Virginia's been dead the whole time, and her mom is pretending to be her. Honestly, I thought that was. She went into some weird mental state where she assumed her daughter's identity.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that would have been smart. So then we have Virginia coming out with a birthday cake, which this cake looks delicious.
It really does.
Compared to the other food in this movie, this cake looks good.
Yeah, tons of candles in there too.
Yeah. And she's singing the title of the movie, and the candles reveal the others are her dead friends.
They all look pretty good too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool visual with all the bodies around the big old birthday table.
They all should have had little hats.
Some of them had hats on.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I was only paying attention to the one that she puts on her dad.
Yeah.
Because these is like crying.
Yeah.
Like she makes him sit down. Which, man, I can't imagine processing this scene. It would be a lot.
Yeah.
And thank goodness they got an actor who's willing to pull it off.
Yeah, that the actor for the
Of
dad
just
did a good job.
The
Crazy
sheer
shock.
just like shock value of it.
Uh-huh.
She blows out her candles and asks him if he wants a big piece or a little piece of cake. And then she calls him a bastard and then just slits his throat.
Uh-huh.
And he bleeds all over that tasty looking cake.
Yeah.
It's like head plants right into it.
Yeah.
That would be fun to do. Just be in a movie and like, oh, I got to drop into a cake.
That would be cool. Covered in blood too.
Yeah. I wonder how many cakes they made for that scene.
Mm.
They didn't get it right. And he's like, oh.
That's some trivia.
I gotta go wash up and go through hair and makeup again to fall in the cake one more time.
Or if they just had one and he's just like trying to hype himself. He's like, ooh, I got one shot.
The throat slash doesn't work and it just air comes out and makes a fart noise. Or it makes that in the cake. Then we get a shocking part of the
twist.
Yeah. You want to handle this, Bren? Take the on.
Oh God. So Virginia brings out to the table Virginia. There's two of them. There's two Virginias. And the other Virginia's like passed out, knocked out or something.
Dressed in Anne's clothing.
Yeah. And Virginia wakes up and is like, what's going on here? Very confused. And there's another Virginia right next to her.
Calling her sister. What?
Yeah. Saying that she's her sister. And a fight ensues. And Virginia grabs the other Virginia's face and like pulls off a mask. And it's revealed to be some chick we've never seen before.
It's Anne.
It's Anne?
Yeah.
It is Anne. But Anne's her sister.
Yes.
It's all very confusing.
Because apparently the dad had an affair, like totally had a normal family or whatever, or was with Anne's mom, but then had an affair with Virginia's mom, and then stayed with Virginia's mom.
Right.
And was going off instead of work sometimes. We can assume that he was just spending time with his other family, perhaps, or not, because Anne was really mad that her family got ruined. During the scuffle and the fight that these two have together, Virginia stabs Anne and then is standing over the body holding the bloody knife when who should show up? The detective from earlier.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
And it does not look good for Virginia.
No, it does not.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed it more with Virginia being the killer.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So Virginia was supposed to be the killer, but about halfway through filming, they thought she was far too pretty and likable to be that cruel to just snap.
So what kind of made it cool?
So they just decided that it would be better to have a different ending.
Because then they had to explain and show that all these moments where Virginia's just like walking around and then she gets like
the chloroformed,
and then the Anne jump in as her in a very convincing makeup. Who knows how she pulled that off?
Right. So this is where I'm guessing Alfred was in on it because he had the stuff and the knowledge to make a mask, but also I freaking despise the I made a mask so convincing. It fooled everybody. You can't do that nowadays, let alone during that time period.
Yeah.
Impossible.
No way.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Anytime I see that in something, I was like, I don't like it.
I'll buy it in like Mission Impossible because these are supposed to be like super secret agents or whatever. But anytime it's grounded at all, those masks just don't exist.
People have different facial structures.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like that movie Face Off, where they swap John Travolta and Nicolas Cage's faces because they're completely different people.
Would not work.
They don't even have the same build.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Doesn't make
I don't
any
like
sense.
it, and I did not like it here. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be as bad if maybe it was like a weird, like, I'm your mutant sister and I got a messed up face underneath and I look like a skull or something.
Yeah.
Make it fun, not just another person.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Man, I don't know. Should we move on? I think we can.
Yeah.
Because we covered everything in the movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
I just didn't like get into describing driving scenes, I guess. But I mean, at least you can see there's a lot in this movie.
There is.
There's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. And you just, if you're going through this narrative, I feel if you skip certain things, like it just won't make sense to the audience. So sorry, gang, but we did a good job. We didn't go off the rails too much. So Brennan, from you, I need your rating saying the word movie, recommendation, and also our slasher trope checklist.
Right.
Now, for those of you who may not know, we had an incident where like earlier first year was this isn't a slasher, is it not? Some of our listeners, and honestly I was just more in the like I just want people to pick our movies. But I agreed like, hey, you know what, then fine, we're going to judge these based on what we view as our top 5 slasher movie tropes. They've been consistent. I debated changing mine this year, but I'm keeping them the same. Did you change yours?
I did not.
I looked at it and I was like, oh, it's too good.
Yeah.
We can have crossover with ours. It's fine. It doesn't matter. As long as it gets to the majority, it'll be considered a slasher. Take it away, Brennan.
I'd say this is a movie. I think all things considered, with like the kind of clunky storytelling, it has pretty good direction, pretty good score as well. The cinematography was pretty cool. There were some cool transitions and stuff. Other than that, like, I don't know. The twist at the end, I just didn't like. I liked it being Virginia, like her walking out with the birthday cake, all of that. I thought that was really fun. Then the twist happened, and I was like, oh, it's a little bit lamer. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it. There's not a ton of gore in it. I think that's one of its biggest downfalls, because you're kind of missing that entertainment that you get from a slasher, you know?
Sure.
Yeah, let me look at my checklist here. 3 or more kills. This one definitely fulfills that. There's 6, right?
Well, it's on the poster.
Yeah, so there should be 6. I have like an emphasis on the kills or the killings. This one I didn't check off because there kind of isn't. It cuts away pretty quick. The kills themselves are pretty simple. Killer is hunting prey. I checked that one off. Lots of like sneaking around and stuff, waiting for opportune moments to take someone out. I also have main group of people being hunted. Have that one checked off. It's the top 10. They're all being hunted down. And then gimmick is my last one, which I did not have checked off. This killer, I'm not going to count the gloves as like the gimmick. That does not count.
You wouldn't, not to argue your point.
Yeah.
But would you consider the I'm pretending to be my half sister?
That isn't like the gimmick though.
Okay, that's fair.
Like that's just like the character.
It's your checklist. I just wanted to reaffirm.
Right.
Okay. So on to me, I guess. It's a movie. I do recommend it though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very well made. And I think there's just a lot to the story that doesn't quite pay off, and it's likely because of that change during production,
Yeah.
where I think they were just definitely leading towards it being Virginia, and it's all that science-y bullcrap from earlier, where that should have played a factor, but I guess you could just chalk it up to being a red herring
Yeah.
and throwing you off the trail of, who the real killer is, but there really is no way you could really decipher it.
Yeah.
Other than like towards the end, like Anne's body disappearing type of thing could have been kind of a thing. But yeah, I agree with you on the gore too. I feel like this should have been a little more gory.
Mm-hmm.
Considering when I was looking up stuff, it did get criticized for the amount of gore that it had.
Really?
Yeah. And there were people who thought that because this director was well known, that it was really tacky for him to make a movie with so much gore in it. And apparently, on set, he was like, I want more blood.
Nice.
And so him and the special effects guy were throwing blood around. So that must have been that one scene in particular where there was like blood splatter.
Everywhere.
Because, yeah, one hit and that room looked like an entire family was murdered in that room.
Yeah.
Because it does cut away a lot. And maybe it was a censor thing. They might have censored it. So I don't know if there's a more uncut version of this or an unrated version, which if there is, I wouldn't mind checking it out.
Yeah.
Just to see what they did with the kills, or maybe show just more like the after effect.
Yeah, right.
Because you see them later, so why not show them? But yeah, I don't think that the doctor guy was keen on it. Didn't really care for being in a movie with so much gore.
Whatever.
Yeah, you still cash that check, buddy.
Yeah.
So as far as my slasher trope checklist goes, I have edged weapon kill at least one. Yes, that's in here.
Mm-hmm.
We have stalking / hunting of victims. That definitely happens. Peekaboo corpse. I was a little iffy on this one, but I'm going to count the end scene.
Okay. That's understandable.
Just because like it is more of a surprise. It doesn't really like flop out or anything. There's enough fake outs of that, but I'm giving it a technical because of the shock value of finding your wife's corpse.
Yeah.
Second wife's corpse.
Yeah.
Vice kill. I marked that one off because the whole wine and kabob.
Yeah.
That technically counts. And he was like flip-flopping with partners.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm counting that as a vice.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That's a, hey kids, don't be sleeping around with other people. They're going to murder you.
Right.
And then thanks to the movie The Clown Murders, which has one murder, I have body count of at least 2 victims. I'm one less than you, but I think you can pull off a successful slasher and only have 2 victims.
It would just be a little boring, I feel.
It could be.
Yeah.
Unless you ramped up the terror.
Long chase scenes for each one, too.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Make it like more intense, get your heart pumping.
Yeah.
Which did not happen in this movie.
No.
It was not a heart pumping movie.
I did not care who died.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't think it's terrible. That's the thing. It's like, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of mediocre. It's almost made too well, I guess.
Yeah.
Where, like I said earlier, had it been Italian, probably would have been a lot of fun. They just would have handled it and getting more weird with it. And,
yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind watching it. Just be aware if you watch it that, that's what you're in for.
It's an hour 50 minutes.
Yeah. It's more of a thriller in some aspects than anything else.
Right.
And with that, we've got the Funhouse coming up next, and the Prowler. It's going to be in person with the winner of our contest, one of our favorite dongles, Pete, one of the hosts from Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Go check those guys out. They're a lot of fun, especially if you enjoy a nice cold alcoholic beverage. Because, man, they spend more time talking about the beer sometimes than they do the movies. I mean, I love their format. It's great. There's also 2 of those. I know I bring it up all the time, but they have a sister show. There's another podcast out of Australia, same name. They're fun too. So you end up on one of them, you'll have a good time, but you'll know Pete. But other than that, you got anything else, Brennan?
Don't jump the bridge, kids. That's stupid.
It is stupid. They always talk about teenagers, their sense of invincibility. I call BS on that.
sense of stupidity.
There's no way I would have jumped a bridge ever.
No way.
Not
No
a
way.
chance.
If one of my friends tried doing that, I would not be friends with them anymore.
Yeah, if I had a friend that did that, I'd be like, no way.
If one of my friends put a rat in some guy's drink after being a jerk to him, nah.
You never mess with anyone's beverage or food. You never do that. That is a cardinal sin in my book.
Yeah.
But on that note, you can wash away your sins with a nice t-shirt from TeePublic. Visit our TeePublic store. There's a link in the show notes. Contact us. How does this movie compare to your slasher checklist?
Yeah.
Do you agree with ours? Do you think maybe I was too late on the Peekaboo Corpse? Do you think Brennan was too late with his? Saying that this movie doesn't have a gimmick.
Does it?
Beats me. Birthday, I guess. No, birthday's barely in this movie. But yeah, you can write into the show at
GrowUpTheYouthPod@gmail.com.
Whoa. We both did the creepy guy voice.
Yeah.
We didn't even plan that.
Pretty scary.
I know. I don't know about you, but I'm creeped out.
Ooh.
Join us in the Dongle Den on Facebook. That's your opportunity to participate in something like this or just show us your memes. And if you send any of those memes about the spitting, I'm not going to let it fly. Thanks to our listeners, the Dongles.
That's
Hey.
you.
Yeah. Hey, guys and gals. You're all out there. Whatever you identify as. Just
Don't
listen
care.
to the show.
Yeah. You're all dongles to me.
Yep. Just be a good person. That means you, our fellow podcasters. Thank you for your support. And hang in there, Dongles.
Hang in there.
Oh, you're joining me already. Let's go bye.
Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth! Corrupted youth!
And every day I'm gonna mail them fake bones in the mail, one by one.